But you've asked me specifically to focus on families. It's absolutely fantastic. A real honour to be here today. So thank you for asking me, Ren. And I think if the Minister was here, Minister for Defence People, Veterans and Serving Families, as opposed to Minister for Veterans Affairs, who you heard from earlier, he would talk about families being the bedrock of defence. We often say that you recruit the individual, but you retain them through their family. And indeed, our latest Armed Forces Continuous Attitude Survey results, which we just published last month, a survey we do every year to kind of test the pulse on our Armed Forces community, show that half of serving people don't feel that their family benefits at all from them being in the service. And the impact of service life on family and personal life is the highest reason why people leave the services. And of that highest reason, over 50% of that is about spousal and partner employment opportunities, which are really tricky if you're married to somebody serving. So I was delighted when I saw the statistics, over 10,000 people that you've supported through Ex-Forces Enterprise, and nearly half of those are family members, which is absolutely fantastic. And we've heard some wonderful case stories in previous and up on your website about the difference that has made to people. It's really, really difficult. If you're moving location a lot, if you're having to cope with your partner being deployed at really short notice, 6 months, 9 months, sometimes longer. Richard, I know you deployed for longer. Sometimes at really short notice, if you've been watching evacuation recently, some of those within 3 hours notice, to just drop everything and be a single parent and juggling all of that with family life and often away from your family support network, because you're moving around so often. So really hard for our partners, family armed forces partners, to find work that's commensurate with their skills and experience, but also for them to fulfil their potential. So I think your offer on self-employment, and I know you've been working with British Legion and the Federation of Small Businesses as well, and Amazon, you've been delivering virtual workshops, training, the bespoke support to individuals, and we've been delivering that remotely as well, just to give people an opportunity to explore self-employment and to have that confidence to give it a go, which has actually, been fantastic success rate. And there's some things that you're coming to do in the future, which I just wanted to mention on, which I'm really excited about. 5 things, I think, in particular, which is more of that digital delivery, so that people can fit it around their lives and do it remotely. More of that engagement from people across the whole community, wherever they may be. Continue your programmes on family focus, which is fantastic for us, and build that network of role models so people can speak to people who've been in similar circumstances without fear of appearing silly, but have that peer network of support. I know you're looking to build that, which is fantastic as well. And I know that we've got Colette here from Family Federations, another from the Family Federations as well. I know you work really closely with them, with Hives, and with the military co-working hubs, which are the hubs that we've got in different armed forces bases across the UK, where people who are self-employed can come and access the facilities on the base, be that IT, although IT not great in MOD, is it? But a safe space to work for people across the UK, which is great. Basically, our families put up with a lot, and as I said, many don't feel valued. So this really nestles into our wider family strategy, which we published last year, a 10-year strategy. So I just wanted to say a little bit about what Defence is doing, because it's not, we're part of a bigger ecosystem in that community you talked about earlier as well. So some specific things. We've just funded £500,000 across 12 projects, particularly supporting partners into employment. We're particularly looking at how we develop the support for people who are overseas. Brexit has made things so much more complicated for our partners to be employed overseas if they're serving accompanied. So we're doing some work on that. Really delighted that we've had a £4 million uplift this financial year to look at increasing the capacity of early years childcare, which is can sometimes be a real barrier to people working. And we've got a £4 million rising to £6 million families fund now every single year, which is going to be administered by the Armed Forces Covenant Fund Trust. You can see all of their programmes up on their website, what we've supported already, but then open programmes for people to bid to as well. We're also delighted that families have been recognised in their recently published Haythornthwaite review. It's got a snappy title, Agency and Agility, Incentivising People in a New Era. But CP may touch on this in his talk in a minute, but basically that sets out our work programme for me and for my team over the next coming months and years, really. But it's all about how we recruit and retain the skills that we need in the armed forces, and a huge theme running throughout that is how we support our families. So we're working on implementing all of those recommendations, but also that wider bit about investing in our accommodation, investing in people being able to buy their own homes, to expand flexible working in the armed forces. I talked about the free wraparound childcare for those school-aged children between the ages of 4 and 11, and also the early years capacity that we're building as well. So a real clear message, I think, to those of you in the room in industry. Thank you for employing our veterans, because they're an awesome asset to you, for enabling reservists to serve in your country because the country needs them to, but also an ask to support our families who really are the bedrock of defence. They're resilient, skilled, motivated. They'll be an asset to you, and think about how you may tap into this huge richness of talent that's out there. We heard from Minister VA this morning about equitability of access and underemployment for veterans, and I think that's just as relevant to our family members as well. But Ren, incredibly grateful for all the work that you and the team have done over the last 10 years. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you, and just you have spent a lot of time celebrating the rest of the community, and I think it's been brilliant today just to shine a spotlight on celebrating your 10 years and what you've achieved, and really look forward to working with you over future years. Thank you very much.